to the Eastern Plains of Colorado here on McCaffrey Farms. If you're enjoying my channel, please hit the subscribe button and help me bump those numbers up. I appreciate all those that have, but let's get to the video. We are finally back to planting. It's been about 3 weeks since the last time we planted anything. We kept getting rain and it just get dry enough, and then we get another inch of rain. We're very glad it was raining after last year. The wheat is looking pretty dang good, but it was making it hard to get anything planted. It's finally dried out quite a bit. Today's the day after we started. Just wanted to get the kind of first little bit done. It's going good now. We're heading down there. I'm about to finish the first field up, and then there's 3 other fields right there that we'll need to plant. So we gotta change a few trash whippers. There's at least one bearing that's out, so we'll do that. Today is the 6th, I believe. We have a pretty tight window. We have till the 10th to get everything planted. That's the cutoff date for the insurance, I believe. We got a tight window to go, but we've got a good window of rain. It's holding off for a few days. I don't know when the next forecasted day is, but once we kind of get going good today, hopefully tomorrow we have everything ready to go in the morning, and then I can get down there and get a bunch planted, because with 16 row at 6 mile an hour, we could get a lot planted. Just a matter of getting everything, all the kinks worked out. As you will see, the weeds got out of hand, especially the cheatgrass, mostly the cheatgrass. When we normally planted, everything was looking pretty good. There were some weeds, but they were pretty small, and so we didn't do a burn down on it. And the 4 fields we have planted, we got the pre-emerge sprayed. It's starting to look pretty dang good and nice and clean. But this, we kept getting rain. There were a few times we thought about putting burn down on, but then there's a wait time to plant afterwards, because then it would have killed the seed, and we didn't want that, because we knew if we did that, we wouldn't be able to plant and we get rained again. But we probably should have did that, because 3 weeks went by, we weren't able to plant, and there's a lot of moisture, so the weeds kind of got big. But I think the pre-emerge will still be able to work good, because none of this ground has really been no-tilled before, and if it has, it's maybe 1 year. I think there's only 3 fields that are this bad. It's the one I'm on now, and then the next 2, and then there's 2 fields that we did do a burn down on because the weeds were already pretty bad. We didn't do like a full burn down or anything. We did just enough to kill it and get it knocked back. So those fields are looking good. Other than the one we're on now, there's, I think, 6 more fields. One of them is 320 acres. It's a half section. If you remember one of the videos where we planted feed on it last year, it's a very hilly field with a lot of washouts, so it's gonna suck to plant. It'll probably end up being the last field because it's the farthest south. It'll just depend on how we work down that way. But let's get to the field, put some fuel in the tractor, change the trash whipper bearings, and get this first field knocked out. Like I said, this is one we need to change. As you can see, it kind of has been wrapped up, and all of them kind of have some wrapping up, but the ones that go bad wrap up worse for some reason. And so we're going to change a few, kind of help stop that. cleaning that one out, and there's a big ol' gap. Yeah, you can see the ball bearings.
Okay.
So it's out. We got the glass red balls in. We had the steel ones because people told us to do that one, but it just went clear down and it hasn't been floating. So there's a few that drain out. The check valves don't quite hold everything out, they just slowly drip. But it emptied this out overnight, so we're gonna try and get this out and try and stick a wire through there, see if we can push the ball up and out, and then we can get the other red one in, and then they'll all be floating right and they'll actually be doing their purpose.
Well, that ain't good.
Hey!
Hey, you got it.
Alright, I'm gonna get it started up. Dad's finishing putting those gauge wheels on, and then should be good to go. Front tanks on the tractor are each at like 450. We have more than enough to finish because probably only 2 more rounds, 2 more back and forth, and then the turn rows and I'll be done. Then I'll fold it up, go over there to that trailer. Dad's gonna move that out into the summer follow over there. Fill all the way up. There's a field right at those trees. There's a field that kind of goes on the north and east side of them. We're gonna do that, and then there's 160 acres over here that we'll do, and then there's about 90 acres on that field that we did the burn down on. Should probably at least be able to get onto that field if everything goes good and get started. But other than that, that's the plan for today. Try and get to those and hopefully have a good day of planting. Alrighty, auto steer is good. We'll hit continue job, let that load. I have it to where I'm on the line, so I'll just have to snap the line once I kind of move forward, let it figure out where I'm at in the field. So as you watch as I move forward, there. So now hit that button, path adjustment, snap here. We're right on the line, should be good to go. Start our seed drive, right fan, left fan, give us some RPMs, click it down, hit the fertilizer, and we're going. All right, here in a little bit, you should be able to see it. It'll be about right in there, but Nutrien has just shown up with a plane a few minutes ago, and they're starting to spray our wheat. Should be able to kind of start seeing him. He'll loop up around and you'll really be able to see him then. There he is. But they just showed up not too long ago on this field of wheat of ours across the road. And now any second, there's a shadow, and he's right there now. He just finished that field up. He did each side, and now he's gone back north, so he's probably gonna do the other fields to the north. So hopefully everything of ours will be done today. They've been staying pretty busy like the last 2 weeks. People started finding the rust in their fields, and we're getting it sprayed. And it's not just in our area, it's all around. Some of the other towns, you go north, south, east, west, about any direction, there's been tons of planes flying everywhere, spraying fields. So with the cooler, wet weather, it's just kind of what happens. That's the climate that rust kind of excels in. Hopefully ours will be able to get all done today, and we'll be good until harvest, because the heads are kind of starting to fill out in this field across the road from where we are right now. Dad and I looked at it yesterday, and there's some pretty decent heads, looking fairly thick, and it looks like there's quite a bit of kernels already coming. So hopefully we can keep having some good weather and we can have a decent harvest. don't mind the monitor constantly screaming at me while I try and talk. We have a row that the sensor's going bad, but being a weekend, we can't get new ones. But I'm about to this west end, so what I'm gonna do, since I'm getting close to the edge of the field, I'm just gonna keep going straight, and then when I lift up, I'm just gonna start the corner and go along the edge. Then that way I know where the edge is at, and I'll have that done, and then from there I'll be able to do the turn rows and be done with this field. So up until the crest of that hill, it was actually lining up perfectly with my line, and I knew this end kind of curved a little more, so it almost came out perfect except for the last 200 yards. I had to bump over, but I had to bump over to the left, so there won't be any skips, which will be nice. But I'm gonna flip around, finish out this corner, go back down, do that turn row, because then it'll end up to where I finish out on this end, and it'll be about right. I just finished up this field, so now I'm gonna fold it up and go down to that field. Dad moved the trailer over there, so I'm gonna fold up, head over there, top it all off, start on that field, do that real quick, then I'll hop over to the north, do that about 160, and then we'll see where we're at for the day there. All right, we're running into a little bit of a problem. Never mind. The fertilizer just, I don't know what happened. The light for the fertilizer was just blinking again, and the fertilizer wasn't on. But I stopped, unplugged one spot, turned it back on, and it's working. So some of that pass will not have fertilizer, but now I'll back up, start going back down the line, and keep planting. I don't know why it was doing that. I don't know. I made it 100 yards. Time to go see what's wrong. That's what we just fixed earlier from yesterday. Hopefully that didn't pull apart. It was this in here. All these connections look good. Nothing's pinched. Everything looks fine. I don't know what's happening. See what I can figure out. All right, this time I unplugged this connector and boom, voila. That's annoying. I don't know what's happening. Hopefully it doesn't do it anymore. Okay, so it's still not working. This is the spot that we redid. So I'm gonna untape this and see if it pulled loose, and then I'll go from there. Looks like I found my problem, and I think, yep, that one in there is also undone. So I'm gonna take that off and redo that with better connectors and try and tape it up better and get it to where it won't pull apart. So just to test it, I'm gonna make sure that was actually the problem. I'm pretty positive it was. I'll flip it on real quick, see if it works now, but I won't leave it like that for very long. I'll go to the pickup and get it fixed. I'm going here on this 160 acre field just north of the one I was working on. I'm about 50 acres in, so I'm getting a decent amount done. The front saddle tanks are empty. I've got right at about 300-ish gallons still in the planter tank, so I can still go for quite a while. It's going okay so far. Everything's looking decent. All right, I'm doing pretty good. I'm sitting at about 80 to 85 acres done on this field, so about halfway. However, it's very very blue to the west, and it keeps getting darker and darker this way. It's moving this way. And I was just looking at the radar, and you know, for having a good window of like 10 days to plant, well, it's not looking like that. If you can see, there's the dot of where I'm at, and there's a pretty good red cell heading right for us. It's really built up, and there at the end you can see just how big of a cell it is. Dad's gotten a few of the fields done with farming. I think he moved to the third field. He might not be able to quite get that done if we get rain soon. So since I'm only about halfway done, and that's kind of moving this way fairly quick, I don't know if I'm going to be able to get done. I don't think Dad will be able to get the field he's working on done. We'll have to see. We'll take the rain, but it's going to make it very hard to make our tight window that we have, especially if it rains a bunch. But we'll see. Don't want to wish the rain away, but hopefully it doesn't hurt us too much on planting dates and everything. We'll just have to see how much I can get done here, and hope that it doesn't stall us too long if it does rain. I'm gonna end up calling it good for now. A bearing went out on one of the trash whippers, and I had to come over to replace it. And about the time I got it back on and got back over here, the wind really hit. So the end of the calm before the storm has worn off, and the wind's really blowing. So where I'm doing a mile-long field, with the way that cell's looking, I don't know if I want to go do another pass. I already talked to Dad about it. He said it'd probably be best not to either, because like I said, we don't know when it's going to hit, we don't know how hard it's going to hit, and I don't want to be a mile down the field away from the pickup. So just going to play it safe, quit for now, because I don't have a whole lot on this field, so it won't be a big deal if I don't get it done. Like I said, it's not that great right now anyways, so it probably won't be too long before it starts doing something if it does. So we're just gonna play it safe. I'm gonna shut everything down, and then I'll head over to where Dad is and pick him up. I'm gonna shut this valve off because, like I said, that's what runs back to those pumps, and then from there out of the planter. Hopefully this storm won't be too hard on us. We'll have to see. But for now, I'm gonna be done for now. Thanks for watching. If you enjoy the channel, be sure to subscribe. I'd really appreciate it, and I thank you to those that have. But for now, that's going to be it for this video. Hopefully we can pick up planting again tomorrow and get everything finished in the next few days. But thank you for watching. We'll see you next time.